Let's switch to our home.vue file and start styling this a little bit here. Right now it's completely empty, and I'm going to be using the vuetify to build this information. So we had the 3 boxes and the one up here and so on. I'm going to remove the div here. Don't do that, but I will, because I'm going to use the v-container instead. So v-container, if I spell this correctly, there we go. So v-container is setting up from vuetify. If you want to go check this out. Is this here? Where is it? I can't actually remember where it is. Somewhere in here, or maybe it's in that moves things around here. It's called, I can't remember. It's here somewhere. Good Lord. Where is it? Style flex. There we go. So it's in this one. Some of it, I think they changed things. Doesn't matter, I remember it. So we are going to create a v-container here, and again we're using the flex. So I'm going to use a grid dash. Oh, it's actually there. Sweet. So grid list, and I'm going to set this to extra small. So for mobile, so it's a little bit responsive. It's not totally responsive. That's all right. And then we want to have the layout one. And in the layout, we want to add the align. So I'm going to align my things to center. And I want to give it an ID as well, because these are for the boxes here, right? Info box. Actually, should make this a class, because I have more than one. So this is the layout for the front info boxes at the front page. And then I want to create a vflex. And remember, these are, think of this as the body tag with the usual pages, and this is like the section parts or div blocks you create by yourself and so on. And inside this you have your flex item. So let's just do a flex 1 and see what that does to our page. So let's go to home, and this is flex 1. Great. So this works, and I want to create what I have from my page. I had the box with the white border around it and text, and it was transparent, or there was no background color, and then I had a white box with text inside of this run. So this is what I want to create inside this flex box here. Before I get to this point, I just want to style this flex box here so it fits to what I want it to. So for small screens, I want to use up 2 rows. So if the screen is the small, if the breakpoint is bigger than small, I think I saw the breakpoint somewhere. Breakpoints, they are, I know they're here. I just saw them when I did the other one. Breakpoints, where are you? Breakpoints. Break. Whatever, they're here. Content maybe? Nope. Display. There we go. Display is called, is apparently that one now. So when it's bigger than this, it takes up this. And when it gets smaller, for our case, phones, really small phones, it just takes all 12 columns, or in this case, it takes 2 columns. That's what it does. Go around with this if you feel you need to brush up on this. Then I want to use the offset, and this moves the first box, the top one. If this is the screen, this is all 12. I'm going to tell the system to the first 9 of these columns you're not allowed to use. You are going to create a spacer here. So you start from this one and go here, 2 boxes, and then great, right? Woohoo, that's what this one does. So let's click flex, let's click save, and this should have moved. See, it's over here now, great. So we can see now this has been moved. Next one we want to do is we want to create inside this. We're just going to create first, real quick, the header for this, and I'm just going to call this bagel shop. And that's the header 1. And inside this I want to create a div to control elements inside it, so I can create, this one is a transparent background or no background, and this div block will have a white background. So I'm going to create a div around my paragraph to control it a little bit better. That's how I like to work with it. I want by our magnificent bagels, so super tasty and yummy. Whatever, write some text that you can stand by, right? So this will be my paragraph and my text. And you see updates over here. It's already dividing them in. So that's kind of, since we're using the flex system, it already knows what to do. So that's great. That's the first one. And my layout here, since the layout is my section, I have one up here and the other section is down here with the 3 boxes. I'm just going to copy this because it's easier. We can write it out by hand, but I don't want to make this video way too long. This one, I'm just going to keep the same class name or ID name here. It's going to do the same thing, and I'm going to add in row and wrap, so it controls, because we have more than one element inside of this now. I'm still going to use 2 boxes, 2 columns for the width. I'm still going to use, if it's small, I'm going to change it, but I don't want it to start all the way over there. I just want it to have 1 column of space from the design. So that's the first box. We'll start from here, and this one is called Our Bagels. This is just info box. I'm not really sure I want to change this because it just takes time. If you want to change the text, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's also fine. I want to copy my flex here because that's the actual box we're going to create. So this one over here, right, we have the text. Just going to copy this and put this inside my layout. So layout starts here, and we have 3 boxes, so paste in 3. First one is set to offset like this, and the other one, we're just going to keep it for now. You don't need the offset here, so let's delete this and this one. It's only the first one we do want to do an offset on, right? The two next one, we don't want to create another column space between each of them. So let's click save, see what this does to our browser. Now we have them here, here, here. It's close. This one is being moved probably because there's something in our app here that's controlling the height of our page. See here we have our navigation, our content. We don't really need this one here, the container, so let's just remove this and just have our router view inside our content here. Let's click save, and then we go back to our home, and then we will style the last bit of our home now. Scroll down to our end of the page. Let's do a style. Let's do this again. Let's do a style and add a CSS or SAS to this, not scoped for now. And in here, we're just going to start styling it. So the first one I had was a class, and it was called info box, info_box. And this is one we want to style. We had a flex box, we had a div block box, and we had an h1 box, right? Let's start with the div one. So if I just do this and do background color white, let's just do white to do a quick test. You can see this pops up like this. This is it's not exactly what we want, I want to say. But we can manipulate this a little bit more because we can use selectors to grab specific part of this, not the entirety of everything. We just want this part where the text here is colored, right? Or the background of white. So what we want to do is we want to do a space, and then we want to do a selector of flex because that's inside of this, and then only if it's a div that exists inside of this one. So now we're only painting or adding background colors to if it's a div that's inside of the flex. That's why I did it here. You could probably skip this and just do paragraphs, but whatever. One or two way, right? So this works. We want to add some padding to this as well, because that's crazy what we have right now. So let's add 20 padding to it. Sorry for my voice. And it looks like this now. This is getting closer, right? So next thing we want to do is we want to add some space between this. Right now this is meshed to the top, this one here, but mine was like here, 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 and up here. So what I want to do after this is I want to use the layout that we already created before. And in this one, I want to use a pseudo selector for this. So I want to use the first child for the first one, which is the top one up here. And I want to change the height of this one. Now I can do many different things with height. I can use percentage, pixels, EM, whatever. But I don't know when this came out, of maybe a year, 2, 3 years ago. But I love this one. View height and view width is freaking awesome. It's so much better than percentage. So now you can see I added 40 width height. And that scales for screens, so it works whatever you're doing. It's way better than percentage. And that's just doing what I want right now. I'm going to copy this because I'm going to reuse some of this for my next one, which is the second child, or the last child in this case, the other one, and I also want to add 40 for this one. So it moves them, so it's kind of centered around. So you can now see when I do this, it's not always like 40 pixels from the top. It's actually dynamic or responsive if you want. Cool. Right, so that's kind of the standard, or the first thing. In the next video, I'm going to create a mix-in for this border here, so we actually also use mix-ins to style things in this one.